Hi folks, Pete here from Ashton's Cars, and today I'm showing you around this 58 plate Mercedes CLC. This is a C-Class hatchback, for want of a better word. Almost said coupe then, but then that's a CLK, isn't it? It does get a bit confusing. But the CLC is the car that they brought out when they facelifted the Mercedes back in late 2007, when they facelifted the C-Class. And the C-Class hatch, or coupe as it was known, became the CLC. This is a C180 compressor model, trimmed in SE specification. The compressor hints at the fact that this 1.8 litre engine has got a supercharger, and it produces 140 horsepower. So a very nice engine, actually, very smooth and powerful. 140 brake might not sound a huge amount, but this car weighs less than 1,500 kilos. So it's surprisingly nippy. It's good for about 135 miles an hour and 0 to 60 in just under 10 seconds. So it's in real world, it's probably as quick as you want anything to be, really. But that's not what it's all about, really. It's designed to be a luxurious three-door, and certainly hits the spot. The build quality is fantastic, as it is with all the C-Class range. It has all that traditional fit and finish of a Mercedes C-Class without the sort of extra size and extra doors that you might not want. I think it was probably designed to appeal to a slightly more youthful audience than the original C-Class saloon. And for my mind, it's got some interesting lines to it. I like the way the back end has got this quite sort of high rear end on it. Might not be the best for rear visibility, but then this car's got reversing sensors, so that doesn't matter so much. It does give you, though, a very good sized boot. And it does make it look quite an interesting shape, I think. This particular car's come into us from a local garage, and it's been very, very well looked after, in fairness to it. It's got service history with it. It's in very, very good shape about the body. None of the usual rust or corrosion issues that we always look for on Mercedes. And of course, the engine on these is very, very solid indeed. The C180 engine is fantastic. This particular car is as clean inside as it is out. Look at that. It's even got the original Mercedes Benz overmats, which I'll just pull back there because they come off out of place. But yeah, it's a very well laid out dashboard on it. It is actually based, this dashboard, around the earlier C-Class model, not the would it be W204? I can never get them right. That would have been on this year. So they sort of based the three-door hatchback interior on that earlier car. But nevertheless, it's a nice interior with dual zone climate controlled air conditioning, decent CD stereo there, and of course, a feature that I love on Mercedes, the cruise control. It has got cruise on it and speed limiter function built in. And the way that Merc do that and put it on this little stalk by here, I think is just the easiest, nicest cruise control to use. Now I'll show you at the back, we'll start off. I want to show you this boot. It's surprisingly large for a car that is essentially a 2+2. You've got a huge boot. It's very deep, this is. It does go down a little bit from the actual ledge here, and because it's quite sort of flared up at the back, you do get quite a big boot in this car, so it's surprisingly practical. Certainly got plenty in there for a couple of suitcases, plenty of room for a few suitcases or a week shopping. Getting inside the car, well, first of all, let's show you the back. We've got to fold the seat forward first, but that goes out the way easily. And there is your rear compartment, which is a good size. Got proper headrests. It's only a 2-seater in the back, so it's a 4-seater in total, this car is. If you do want a 5-seater, you would need to buy a 4-door saloon version of the C-Class. But I think most people, it's going to be just occasional use in the back, and the front seats here are really what are most important. So let's just jump in behind the wheel and we'll have a proper look at it. So, it's nicely laid out. And as you probably heard when I shut the door there, it's got a reassuring thud to it, as has everything on this car. It's got a really good quality feel to it, this car has. Now I'm just going to fire it up, show you the startup sequence. It is saying it's due a service at the minute, so we'll be getting that done on it before it goes anywhere. I got my main beam on. It's so dark today that the auto headlights have actually come on automatically on it. It's just a reflection of Wales in January, unfortunately. Let's get that silly message off there. We've got a little trip computer on it, which will fly through now. Quite nicely laid out dials, I think. I'll give it a rev quickly so you can hear the engine. You do get a little bit of turbo, a supercharger sort of whine coming, which is quite nice. I quite like that. Just to remind you that it's got that supercharged engine. It's not hugely powerful, obviously, for its size, but it is reassuringly responsive when you put your foot down on it, and it really does work very well having it with the auto box and the cruise control on it. This automatic is an absolute joy to use. It's, as are all Merc autos, they're all fantastic. I think this one's the 5-speed auto in here. What I have got as well is front and rear parking sensors. So see on the dashboard there on the top, that's telling me my front sensors, and I've got a similar affair behind me as well for the rear, and I've got audible beeps on both front and rear of this car as to when it's close to objects, etc. So it's a very easy car to park, very easy to maneuver. And of course, it's not actually that big, so it's quite easy to find a parking space that's big enough for the for this model. Dual zone climate control. What I mean by that is you've got separate controls for the passenger, separate controls for the driver. They're just dials, so they're very easy to set, very easy to use. There's no real hardship in learning any of this. It's all very easy. It's got the original CD stereo in it. It's just a standard CD stereo with FM. And a single CD slot there, but it has got a very good sound to it. Admittedly, you haven't got any Bluetooth connection on this particular car. It would be easy enough, though, I'd have thought, to swap this out for a more modern double-din stereo that had Bluetooth on it if you wish to. So I'm just going to put my fan on a bit because we're steaming up ever so slightly in here, and put the aircon on. So air conditioning all working as it should. The previous owner has put these extra little Merc badges in, but he's done a tasteful enough job of it for me to leave them alone and leave them in there. Got an armrest by here as well that flips up, a bit more storage inside it, and a nice big glove box over there as well. This is a steering wheel cover, but the wheel underneath is in good condition, so he's obviously just fitted that for sort of cosmetic reasons, I think, more than any aesthetic reasons. And it feels quite chunky with it on there as well, so I quite like that, but we can remove it if you wish. Other than that, it's all standard. It's all as we would like it. It sounds good. It performs very, very well indeed, this car. Very responsive. And it's got everything on it you could possibly wish for. Electric windows up front. Obviously the back's don't open because it's a hatchback. And we've got auto lights, electric mirrors, air conditioning that works. And cruise control, which, as I say, in my opinion, is the best in the business, this Mercedes cruise control. A cracking little car. If you want something that looks classy but doesn't cost the earth to buy, look no further. And it's genuinely a very pretty looking car, I think that is. And you know, for no money at all, you've got a good looking car, just over 100,000 miles on it, with a 3-pointed star on its nose. And it's hard to believe, isn't it, that this car is, well, it's a 58 plate, this one is, so it's a late 2008. It is now coming up to, what, 16 years old? 17 years old this year. That's very hard to believe, I think. It still looks a modern design. Of course, this is the first year, more or less, that this shape came out. So it was a very fresh looking thing when it came out. And Mercedes designs are quite timeless. When you think about what you can buy for sort of 3.5, 4 grand these days, well, not much compares with this really, to be honest with you. And this car they're built to last, Mercs are. So it's a classic little car for someone, which looks good. It's got enough tech in it really to make it quite usable as a daily. And quite fun to drive as well. If you're interested, give me a call. 07932 873 646. I will just quickly whisk past the wheels just to show you that they are in excellent condition. They are 16-inch wheels on this car. Good tyres all round as well. We are happy, of course, to take part exchange. So let us know what you have got and we'll happily work a deal out for you. And, should you wish, we will deliver this car anywhere in the UK. Bargain. 07932 873 646 is my number if you're interested in our Mercedes CLC. And please feel free to visit our website, ashtonscars.co.uk. And as you are here now, please subscribe, hit the notifications, and you'll be kept abreast of all the cars we've got coming in, as well as some motoring advice, cars in general, and just some general chat. Speaking of which, please feel free to comment below and let me know your thoughts and your, especially if you've owned one of these before, your experiences with them. I'd be very pleased to hear from you. But that's it from us. Thanks ever so much for watching. Hope you like the car. Subscribe for more. Goodbye for now.